In the vast catalog of the inexplicable, few phenomena are as daily and at the same time as devastating as psychic vampirism. We are not talking here about ultra-tumba beings that feed on blood, but about an energetic anomaly documented by various esoteric traditions and studies of the human psyche. These are individuals who consciously or unconsciously seem to drain the life force of those around them, leaving behind a trail of physical exhaustion, mental confusion, and a strange sense of emptiness. If you're interested in the subject, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Official science usually dispatches these cases under the label of stress fatigue or toxic social dynamics, but those who have experienced this looting of the soul know that the academic explanation does not cover the depth of the phenomenon. Is it possible that we are facing an exchange of energy fluids that escapes conventional measuring instruments? In the study of forces operating from the shadows, few names have as much weight as that of Dion Fortune. The celebrated occultist and member of the Golden Dawn did not limit herself to theory, but in her fundamental work, Analysis of the Nature of a Psychic Attack, dissected a reality that modern science prefers to ignore. Fortune was a pioneer in suggesting that the exhaustion we feel after certain interactions is not a simple suggestion, but the result of an unexplained anomaly in the astral plane. According to his research, there are parasites of the astral plane, entities that adhere to the human aura to suck the vitality, acting as real invisible predators in an ecosystem that we do not see, but that conditions us. Are we facing an invisible fauna, whose existence the management of the information of the academic institutions has decided to censor? Fortune's warning about unintentional psychic vampirism is especially disturbing. According to the researcher, people in our most intimate environment, partners, family, or friends, can become energetic black holes without even being aware of it. This plundering of life force can be so severe that the victim begins to manifest real physical symptoms, weakening to a state of deep illness, or in extreme cases, death. The question that arises is devastating. If love or closeness can serve as a bridge for this drainage, how can we be sure that our own health is not being mortgaged by those we love the most? In this scenario, protection is not a question of faith, but of psychic survival. Fortune and other paranormal researchers suggest that the first step for shielding is the identification of the link, or cord, that binds the vampire to its prey. While conventional psychology would reduce it to a toxic relationship, the study of enigmas points to a transfer of real energy that leaves scars on the subtle body. There is talk of techniques to seal the aura, and of the importance of maintaining an emotional integrity that prevents these parasites, whether entities or people, from finding a fissure by which to feed themselves. However, the lack of official protocols for these attacks leaves us in an absolute vulnerability to a phenomenon that does not understand physical boundaries. How can we defend ourselves against a psychic vampire? Another fundamental pillar of psychic shielding is the control of emotions. Vampires often feed on guilt, excessive compassion, or anger. They are all keys that open our back door. Maintaining a critical distance and learning to identify the sudden drop in our emotional temperature by interacting with certain people is vital. However, mental health institutions rarely consider the possibility of parasites operating in non-physical dimensions. This leads us to question whether official truth is deliberately ignoring a real threat to human integrity by simply not being able to weigh it in a scale. If energy is not created or destroyed, but transformed, where exactly is that flow that we lose from seemingly harmless talk going? Ultimately, protecting oneself from psychic vampirism requires a combination of healthy skepticism and an opening to the invisible. From the use of conductive elements such as salt water to clean the energy trail, to the practice of silence as a refuge, the range of defenses is wide, but none is infallible if we do not understand the nature of the attacker. This phenomenon forces us to rethink the nature of our relationships and biology itself. If we accept that the human being is more than flesh and blood, we must also accept that there are predators adapted to that subtle nature. Official truth tells us that we are alone in our minds, but the Golden Dawn Chronicles and the evidence of thousands of victims suggest that we're part of a much more complex and dark food chain.